Welcome to CCBC TV's Arts Showcase, a series featuring performances from the campuses of the Community College of Baltimore County. I'm Monica Otal, Professor of Music and Concert Manager at CCBC. Today's Arts Showcase features an encore visit by the three piano players, comprised of Duke Thompson, Chris Sengstacke, and CCBC music faculty member Andrew Lewis. They present a diverse and fascinating program from classical to jazz in solo and trio performances.
Thank you all, and welcome to Three Piano Players. As you see on your program, we are going to be doing a theme here that encompasses three very important aspects of music: composition, arranging, and improvisation. And that first piece that we play, the three of us, six hands on the piano, is All Blues by Miles Davis. And we started with that piece because it actually encompasses all three of those very much so. It's a composition by Miles Davis. It was arranged by the three of us for 6 hands on a piano. Mr. Andrew Lewis took the bass. He had the chord progression going on, kept that going. Mr. Chris Sengstacke took the melody and some improvisation in the middle. And then when I came on the top, I was just improvising. So improvisation was also on there. I was improvising with the chords. It was in G, went from G to C. Those of you who are music people had an E flat chord in there for a moment, and D major chord. So as long as you know that structure, you can improvise on it. Okay, so it was a composition, an arrangement with improvisation. So that is our theme today. So you're going to hear some that are just compositions, some that have more improvisation, some that have zero improvisation, and arrangements. So welcome again, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Chris Sengstacke, who is going to play an original composition that he wrote. Mr. Chris Sengstacke.
Thank you. This piece is called Mother and Child, and it just kind of came into my head, an idea. I think I might have been arguing with my children. I have twins. So the kind of dynamic that might go on in a household is represented musically with this piece. So I hope you like it. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce one of your faculty members at CCBC campuses. Tremendous piano player, very talented young man, Andrew Lewis.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, so I'm one of the teachers here for about 4 years now. I also teach piano, applied lessons. And so the piece that I was thinking, since we're calling this improvisation and arranging, I was going to do an arrangement from sort of a jazz band of the 1960s. I'm not going to say the title until after I've played it, but I will say it's a piece that, if anybody's familiar with Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, this is one of their selections. Is familiar with that particular tune? Ah. Close. Yeah, the piece is entitled Whipped Cream. So you'll have to check it out, look it up on YouTube or something, but it doesn't actually sound like that. I've sort of turned it into a ragtime, turn-of-the-century jazz sort of thing. That's sort of one of the nice ways that we can arrange music. So with that being said, I would like to turn it over to Dr. Duke Thompson, and he is going to explain one of his selections.
Thank you very much. And again, it's great to be doing this Three Pianos show with these two gentlemen. We've been doing it for about 5 years now. And we're all different piano players, as you're coming to see, and we'll see as this afternoon continues to go. The piece I'm going to do next is an arrangement of two pieces that I combine together. I call it a hybrid, because I actually do a number of pieces where I start out with one piece and I'm just kind of having fun with it at the piano in my practice session. And all of a sudden, as I'm playing it, into my ear comes another melody. I said, oh gosh, I wonder if that'll work. And I try it, and if it does, it stays. If it doesn't, it's out. And in any event, so this one that I'm going to play for you now combines Amazing Grace with Shenandoah. And it was very interesting how these two came together, kind of the way I just described. But then I was actually able, and you'll hear at the end of this arrangement, where both melodies are being played at the same time. So it starts with Amazing Grace, it goes to Shenandoah, and then towards the end, you have both melodies at the same time, and harmonically they work. It's very interesting how that came to be. I call it Southern Grace because of Shenandoah down in the Virginia, Shenandoah Valley, and Amazing Grace, obviously that. And there's a lot to know about Amazing Grace. It's an incredible piece that was written by John Newton. Well, actually, the hymn was written by John Newton. The music was attached to it quite a few years after that. But John Newton meant for it to be very inspiring, Amazing Grace. Saved a wretch like me. John Newton had been a terrible alcoholic, and he had a terrible life as a captain of a slave ship between Africa and England. This is back in the 1700s. He was horrified by this whole thing on the slave ship. He became an alcoholic because of it. He finally got out of all of that. He removed himself from the institution of slavery except for the denouncement of it, and he became a minister. He quit drinking, and in 1772 he wrote Amazing Grace because his life had been saved by grace. He was no longer an alcoholic, and he was now a minister doing good things in his mind, and I think we all will agree with that. And I want to dedicate this performance to Brian Camato up here. He helped me with a recording of mine. My 4th CD just came out in May, and Brian was my recording consultant. And actually, Brian, you don't know this because I just gave you the CD, but this piece is the #1 track. It's on the first track of the CD. So here it is for Brian. All right, we're not just piano players. Well, I'm just a piano player, and Andrew's just a piano player, but Mr. Sengstacke is a multi-talented instrumentalist, and he is now going to join me in a classic rock tune that we have arranged, and I'll let them get set up as I'm talking about this. Who would venture to guess what perhaps is one of the most popular classic rock tunes? I'm talking about 60s, 70s. 1960s, 1970s. Yes. Well, that's a band. But I mean that specific piece. One piece. Yes? Hey Jude is one. That's not the one we're going to do, but that is one. Yes. Stairway to Heaven is one. That's probably right up there. Trying to get the feeling again. I don't know that one, but there's a lot I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I know it. Any other? Yes? Hey Joe, I don't know that one either, but I don't know a lot. There's a lot that I don't know. But I do know that the one that we are going to play is Stairway to Heaven. Who said that? Right there. Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. So here's our arrangement. Chris Sengstacke on guitar and myself on the piano.
interesting, isn't it, for 3 piano players? Plus, I think that's what we'll name our next show, Plus Guitar. So thank you again, Duke and Chris. The next piece that I was thinking of, I'm going to sort of, sure, technical things. The next piece that I was going to play, sort of like a ballad. I'm sort of a lounge and cocktail pianist when I'm not teaching here at CCBC, so one of the pieces, I do a standard from the musical Peter Pan, and it's entitled Never Never Land.
Oh, that was very nice, Andrew. How'd you like that? Nice piece. I'm going to go back to my guitar here, play a solo piece. It's an arrangement I did off of a Dan Fogelberg piece called Nexus. He was very popular back in the 90s and 80s. And another multi-instrumentalist, he's passed away just recently, but his music lives on, so I'm hoping to do it justice. I need to make a slight tuning adjustment to the instrument, and then I'll begin.
While he's tuning that, does anyone have any questions at this point for, well, the two of us? He's tuning. He's a we'll have a little bit of question in a little moment from now. Yes, go ahead. Well, that's a good question. We're friends, first of all. We all teach at the Maryland Conservatory of Music, so we had listened to each other's styles, and, we saw that, we all enjoyed music and had the same kind of perspectives on, the philosophy of music and what it does for you and how you express yourself and all that. And Andrew plays at the Maryland Golf and Country Club on Thursday nights, and so we used to go up there and just kind of sit there and have a beer while he's playing. And then we started, hey, well, I'll come in and play a little bit. And then we just said, hey, let's do 3 piano players, kind of like 3 tenors or something like that. So we jumped in and started doing it that way. But anyway, we'll have more questions in a moment. Chris Sengstacke. Thank you, Mr. Sengstacke. Arrangement of a great piece. I'm now going to do not an arrangement and not a piece that has a lot of improvisation. It is a composition that I wrote, and I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm just going to play it for you, and afterwards I will ask you what title might you give the piece, or what one-sentence description might you attach to it. So here it is, an original composition of mine. All right. Anyone have a title they'd like to propose? You and then you. Yes. Thoughts of the day. Do you want to tell me what kind of a day it was? All right. One's thoughts. Go ahead.
You know, like when you think, it's a lot of things that go through your head. And
Okay.
Made me think that it was just a lot of things going on.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts of the day. No, I meant that very sincerely. Yes. A- Wait, say it again. Oh, Bambi. Oh, wow, that's very interesting you say that. I'll tell you why in a moment. Yes.
When I was younger, I suffered from seasonal affective disorder.
Okay.
And this reminds me of how I used to feel on winter days, like just really like just not even sad or angry, just like really just like tense,
Wow.
anxious. Just because I really, and I still kind of really don't like holidays like at all. But
You don't like holidays?
holiday days,
Oh, cloudy days. Holiday.
so I would call it winter. Winter's breath, winter's cold, something cold. Like even right now, it is cold in this room, but I can feel myself slightly.
Interesting. Okay. And what was it that you said it was? What disorder that you had?
Seasonal affective disorder.
Seasonal affective disorder. Interesting.
It's not just cloudy days. Like sun is actually like someone you know doesn't like sunny days or hot.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah. That's yes.
So I actually second that winter thing because the entire time I was thinking of the piece, I thought like a winter's breeze, but then you hit that lower note and then it described like a whole new climax, and I felt like a winter's kiss or something like that.
A winter's kiss.
Yeah, kind of like winter how it starts off kind of eerie
Okay.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
it just reminded me of the winter, and then something bad happens.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes.
Could I suggest a title? It's more of a humorous one.
Yes. Oh, well, here, come up here and suggest on the microphone.
I'm thinking 12 fingers because it's a lot of notes that this he covered here, isn't it? Yeah. So I just happened to come into my head. I don't know. Sorry.
No, very good. I like it. Thank you very much. It's just maybe two more, and then we'll go into general questions, and then we'll have our finish. Yes.
It sort of made me think of the creation of the world, like let there be light was the beginning.
Oh, okay.
You know, the creation, and then all the populace arrival on the earth, and all of the confusion that we cause while we're here, and then the calming down of, like the Lord saying, that's nothing saying, all right, they're done. Now what do I go?
I see. Interesting. So very broad. Yeah, very broad. One more in the back there. Sorry.
Yeah, my kind of idea. I would call it Journey to Creation.
Journey to Creation. Okay, similar theme as that one. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for all that. I always love to hear what people think of a composition without any direction that I might give by giving you a title. I call that piece Dark Descent. As you notice, it descends melodically from the top to the down, and then the turmoil in the middle section. And somebody over here said the loss of like a parent losing a child. I actually do a Lincoln show where I impersonate Abraham Lincoln and do his life through music. And in 1862, Lincoln lost his 11-year-old son. Willie died in the White House to tuberculosis, and Lincoln was absolutely devastated. And he could not leave his room for 3 days, just sobbing. But music was one of the things that was able to get Lincoln back into his task to be the president of the United States. And so I play that piece to represent his feelings at the loss of his son, Willie, in the White House there. But anyway, general questions now. I'll invite the other two piano players come on up, and we're just about done here. But general questions about music, arrangements, compositions, improvisation, and I'll pass the mic to whoever. Yes.
I forget your name, I apologize. But your first piece that you
Him?
no, middle.
Oh. Middle is my name. That's just, yeah.
What key was that song in? The one that you composed yourself?
The piano piece? Oh, F. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Thank you. I'll be leaving now. Any more questions? Yeah.
Why do you, after you all have really effective practice techniques that you do every day?
No. he does. Yeah.
So what suggestions would you make? Say, don't let a day go by without doing this or,
Take that.
would be a great help playing.
Scales. All my teachers, professors, from since I can remember, always said, practice your scales, your chords, and then you can play any style. And since I was taught all the years that I've had with classical training, but yet I also enjoy playing jazz and other styles, and I realized that once you have that sort of concrete knowledge of scale and scale structure, they're all the same notes. So you can play any style you want, but you can use those scales, and that will sort of forward along. Scales for everybody.
Right there.
Yes.
When you did whipped cream, was it? Like,
Whipped cream, yes.
Like, it was like phenomenal. But what made you choose like the ragtime feel? Like,
I don't remember. I don't know. I've been playing that piece, gosh, 6-7 years now or so, and these were things that I heard when I was growing up. So grew up in a musical family. My mom's still a music teacher at a school in Harford County. So I heard this growing up, and she would play it, and maybe I just felt like that day, and it just sort of came out that way, and I've been doing it ever since. So, but if you listen to it, it doesn't quite sound like that. But anyway.
One more question, and then we'll do our finale. Sorry. You pick.
Yes. Yes.
He was already picked. Who hasn't
Oh,
been picked?
never mind then.
You've been picked. This gentleman up here.
Jeez.
This is a question for you, Mr. Duke Thompson.
Okay.
A lot of your songs can seem very somber, very sad. Not exactly slow, but definitely sad. Where is that inspiration?
Well, that's I mean, you're right. And I have 4 CDs out, and the last 3 kind of, I was in a near-death automobile accident about 7 years ago, and that really took a lot, out of me, and recovery from that really was helped by music. And in fact, before that, I was pretty much strictly a classical piano player, and I still am. I mean, we didn't play any classical today, but when I was like airlifted, shock trauma. I don't remember. I was knocked out, bleeding on the brain. I was totally, my whole left side was crushed, and they had screws and plates holding me together. But I did recover, and I started writing music. And a lot of the music really does come from that recovery and that pain that existed, and the depression, and then the post-traumatic stress syndrome, all of that. So it's very observant that you say that, because there's no question that flavor is inside. Now, I do write some happy music. I do write some happy music, and I play a lot of happy music. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's where it comes from. So, all right, we're going to do our final piece, and thank you all very much. And I know there was more hands up. If anybody wants to come ask questions after we're over, we'll be hanging out here for a little bit. So, feel free to come down. And here is our last piece. I think you might know what it is as you start to hear it.
I hope you enjoyed this performance by the 3 piano players. If you would like to attend a Music Forum concert, please note that each Friday during the fall and spring semesters, the music department of CCBC presents Music Forum concerts at 12:20 in the recital hall of the Arts and Humanities Hall on the Essex campus. These concerts are an integral part of our students' education, and all of the concerts are free and open to the public. If you would like more information about Music Forum, please call 443-840-1521. I'm Monica Otal. Thank you for watching CCBC TV's Arts Showcase.